talk about NRW, but as water utility, we're going to talk about the peer-to-peer relation as a partnership. I'm here representing GWOPA, Global Water Operator Partnerships. This is related to UN Habitat. And we are members in the Arab regions within the area of Mediterranean. And we consider as the first member in GWOPA. Now, I'm going to talk about the role of water operator partnership in the improvement of water utilities. And we will take an example, Water Supply and Sewerage Authority in Bethlehem. I will give a glimpse about WSSA. Is a local government service type organization. The service mandate area is 25 kilometers only. That we provide water and wastewater services for 120,000 inhabitants, which is covering our mandate area. We have 5 cities, 6 local villages, and 3 refugee camps. The total amount of subscribers here, we have 15,000 only. Now we consider as a medium-sized organization. Now this is our mandate area. You can see that the major city or municipality, it is Bethlehem. And we have the surround area. We have major 3 camps, Duhaisha, Al-Azza, and Aida. Now I'm going to talk about the amount of water that we are supplied to our customers. We purchase water from 2 sources, the Israeli sources and the Palestinian source. Now, from Palestinian source, we have 30%. So we don't own water aquifers. We just purchase these waters. 70% are coming from Israel. The first company is Mekarot. It's the national company in Israel. Like 67%, we depend on that water. 3% coming from Hagihon, Jerusalem, a water company. Now, as you see, all that we have in RW, it is 40%. So if we can consider the number 10,000, we have 40%. So what we receive exactly 6,000. And this is considered a catastrophe for our clients. Now, the reasons for this, the deterioration of water network, it's 1950s. And I think we are an undersized network. All pipes made of steel. Now the total length, it's 250 kilometers. Now, that 70% is covered by the undersized network. This is just a chart for this. Now I will talk about facts. I like to put too much number or too many numbers to let you know exactly the situation, what we are passing through. Now, the average water supply per capita in Bethlehem is 65 liters per capita per day. The minimum international standard, it is 100 liters. The Israeli citizen consumes an average of 300 liters per capita per day, but the Israeli settler, it is 400 liters. The information is coming from original and official letter received from Palestinian Water Authority. Now we have we don't control over of our water only 10%. 97 water projects for infrastructure project we've been pending in the Joint Water Committee. This happens before, let's say, 3 months or 4 months ago. But now recently there is some of meetings because it was started on 2010 to stop these meetings. So 97 projects were being pending. There is an application of 16 projects were submitted in Joint Water Committee. Until this moment it's pending. Consider the sewerage. Now the wastewater, the total effluent, it is 8,000 cubic meters per day. We have waste catchment area that we discharge 3,000, approximately to 3,000. An average of 5,000 goes to Kidron Valley. The idea of constructing a new wastewater treatment plant, by the way, all the wastewater is discharged into valley without treatment. Now, that affects a couple of hours from now. We had manifestation nearby my office, complaining for the wastewater that is discharged directly near the house of the villages in the east local villages. Now, the network constructed on 1990s, it is undersized and it's not covering only 60%. So the idea of having a wastewater treatment plant is a crucial requirement for the area to be covered, not only in our mandate, also the surrounding and nearby villages. But to be ready for our, to reduce the NRW, we need to do some steps. The first step is to construct or to rehabilitate the network. So we received a grant from AFD in addition to our another grant, a generous grant coming from the Dutch government. They merged the two grants together and they support Bethlehem in a project that cost 18 million euros. This is constructing of two main water reservoir in Area A and Area C. Area C we've been applying in 2009, and in the end of 2016 we received finally the approval to construct the water reservoir. As the problem, and this is increasing in RW, that we have direct supply, not as by using gravitational force, but we use direct supply to the customer, and this will increase the leakage and in RW, and in addition the water quality itself, it needs another water safety plan. As I said, we are going to rehabilitate 43 kilometers for the potable water. We are going to renovate also 5 wastewater pumps in the wastewater pumping stations. Here are some photos, the new construction in Area A in Beit Sahur area and the ongoing project. This is a visit, by the way, the official ceremony when Mr. Valls, the Prime Minister of France, he came. We received the permit for construction one day before his coming. So thanks for the political influence. And you can see we're using the ductile iron pipes. It's Pont-à-Mousson. This is our first project. Now, the other ongoing project is master plan for wastewater and agglomeration with the rainfall. This is funded by Paris and Alps Grenoble to overcome the flooding in rainfall period where there will be mixing between wastewater and stormwater, and will help us in many outputs to provide an adequate strategy to storm and wastewater services. The outputs of the master plan, it's GIS outputs. We are under provision of this. To the cover, it's showed us exactly what is the kilometers of the network, how many manholes we have. Now we are going to wastewater network to categorize per diameter, material conditions, and slope. Also the outputs for deciding of the wastewater catchment and the stormwater. By the way, the stormwater is not in our mandate, it's the mandate of the local municipalities. And the stormwater for GIS data. This is an example where the first period of outputs, it shows exactly what is the water should be covering networks and wastewater. Okay, now the second project, it is Bethlehem Smart Water. This is funded by PMSP, Palestinian Municipality Support Program, and joined with the Torino Municipality. This is a partnership between municipalities. This is to establish a SCADA system. At least you know the network, you need to have some data, and to collect the data in a proper way, you should have GIS and SCADA system in your utility. And you can see this is the preparational photos where we can discuss about the network to show what the hard copies that we have and to develop and new outputs of GIS system. Now, related to Global Water Operator Partnership Alliance, that WOPS worked as binding the skills of knowledge and goodwill within a mentor utility to build the capacity of another utility, which is we have mentee and mentor. The mentor will help the other partnership to be as a mentee. And this could be private to private or public to public. But where we are talking about water utilities, so we are talking about peer-to-peer, which is public to public. And through the mentorship, WOPS progressively strengthen and empower the mentee operator on management. So financially and technical levels to be improved and to implement operational and organizational changes. Now, WOPs are carried out on solidarity base, which is non-profit base. So the idea not to be used as a commercial projects and purposes.
Mr. Nassar, 3 minutes, please.
Okay. This is one of the Congress meeting in Barcelona. Now, the GWOPA is localized in Barcelona, and these all the members of GWOPA. Now, the ongoing partnership, it is WSP. This is already in the last stages. We implement water safety plan with ONI in Morocco. This is to diagnose of the water supply system and how to implement the water safety plan within the area of WSSA. The second one, it is GIS establishing unit. This is funded by Haute Paris, the Water of Paris. The objective is to establish GIS unit through technical support. And this is the output of the drawings. We did kind of in-house pilot plan study before implementing the GIS unit establishment through TOR. So we took some small area in our mandate, and we tried to search and to look all electronically data to be installed within our network. So if you can click in the pipe, you can know exactly the lifetime of the pipe, what is the size, and the rest of information required for the GIS. This is a daily maintenance operation. That's the request of labor. They can provide us with the information to be implemented electronically in our archiving system. The second one with BACASA. BACASA, it is the institution organization in Barcelona, and we are doing continuous capacity building. This will be applied after the partnership WOPS with Haute Paris, so there will be kind of starting of the establishing, and then there will be the capacity building. And you can see here our the head of GWOPA, Mr. Al-Awar. Also, there will be establishing of NRW unit through ONI, the Office National for Electricity and Water in Rabat. And we're going to implement a new system for WSSA. So in this way, after we did the water balance, we found out that the number issued from our calculation, it is 52, which is 52. It means we have to search of improving the reading of water meters. So this is our crucial steps that we have to modify our system, and we are going to implement, after we are going to do the business plan for using ultrasonic flow meter. And thanks for the people who are here to emphasize on this, that ultrasonic will help us for a good data and the accurate data. It's not only reading with air. Just for last slide, it will be to have an pillar for international partnership. We should be doing a clear need assessment and to be ready and prepared ourselves before starting with any partnership. Now, lessons have been learned through the international partnership that we have to be ready, improve our communication tools, and be receptive for any new ideas coming from our mentors. Thank you, guys, and hopefully we'll see you.
Thank you, Engineer Nassar. And now our last but not least speaker, Engineer Mohammed Shafei is the head of research and planning at Aqaba Water, which is actually we all in Jordan proud of the Aqaba Water System company actually, and we consider it as a success story in Jordan for the water utilities. Mohammed Shafei participates through Aqua and Afwa in developing non-revenue water strategies and good practices, and he is considered one of the trainers that is working on building capacity through the region in non-revenue water training and aspects. Also, currently, he's working through Aqaba Water team in developing or implementing a smart electronic metering infrastructure for Aqaba Water. Thank you.
The topic of this presentation is about how to assess non-revenue water. And when we say how to assess non-revenue water, everybody says, you measure it, you make a water balance, and you know exactly how much non-revenue water you have, and you can tell if it's good or it's bad. But the reason why we started this work is that it doesn't always tell you the story, and I would like to give you some introduction and past history about these projects. And in the end, we talk about maybe there are better ways to assess non-revenue water performance. Excuse me. So we're talking about a product that is called the Non-Revenue Water Toolkit, which is a group of tools that tackle different aspects of non-revenue water. And it the initiative started by Peter Rees through the Fabry project and funded by USAID, and implemented in a research project by Aqaba Water. We were part of this project, carrying out the research, and it contained some of these tools. And this was the scope of work back then, is to help experts go to water utilities and analyze the situation in these water utilities and suggest corrective actions. So the reason is that very few water utilities are performing these good practices, even though they are widely famous and known to all the experts, and you hear them in all the conferences. But utilities keep looking for this magical bullet that will change everything in the quickest time, and from what we saw in the research, they ignore these good practices. And what happens is large investments go to these utilities, and they buy these equipments, and they build these chambers and these tools to implement these good practices. But because they are not convinced that they have to do it, it doesn't succeed. It doesn't translate into impact in a lot of the cases. In some cases, it works. So the idea was maybe we need to simplify these ideas. You know, I was a very shy kid, you know, and very intellectual and different. I had to explain myself, had to learn to explain myself to people in very explicit ways. Maybe experts, we need to explain ourselves to utilities in more clear ways, in more explicit ways, in ways that no two people can be in disagreement about. Also, showing the hidden effort behind the activities eliminates the magical bullet appeal. If you tell them that active leakage control is hard work,